Hey friends, it is Kate here. Thank you so much for jumping on my channel and joining me here for day 26 of our 30-day challenge. Only 4 more to go after this. Can you believe it? I certainly cannot. Today's class is a Vinyasa style yoga. Now Vinyasa is one of those that sometimes we get a little bit confused about. Vinyasa means to link with purpose. So sometimes you might be in a class and a teacher will say Vinyasa, and everyone will seem to do kind of the similar kind of moves to get from point A to point B. Most of us kind of think of Vinyasa as going from plank to chaturanga to up dog to down dog, but really, again, it means to link with purpose. So if you ever take a live Vinyasa class with me, I often say Vinyasa will meet in downward dog, and that just means make your way to downward dog however feels best for your body. There's not a one-size-fits-all approach to our yoga, to our body, so just know that you don't have to do absolutely everything that I say or everything that an instructor tells you to do in a class. You should do what works best for your body because it's about progress, not perfection. So this might be a little bit more challenging for those of you that have done even like the Pilates yoga fusion classes, because we will move through our plank pose and side plank a little bit because that's what this week's all about. And know that if you need to take a pause here or there, you are absolutely welcome to do so. I hope you know that already if you've been here for a while. I am all about you doing what works for your body. So roll out that mat and let's get started. We'll begin standing near the top of our mat. Feet can be together or hip distance apart, whatever works better for you. But take a moment and let's just close our eyes. Belly button in, shoulders nice and broad. Top of the head lifts a little bit higher. Maybe ever so lightly dip your chin just enough that you can lengthen through that cervical spine. Almost imagine I'm pulling your ears up towards the sky. No hurry, no rush, but big inhale, lift your fingertips up. Exhale, flip the palms, press them down. Eyes can be opened or closed as we wave our hands up and down a few times. Exhale all the way down. Last one, if you haven't already, do blink your eyes open. Take your gaze up to the sky, reach your fingertips high. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees if we need to, or keep them straight if that feels good in your body. Do what works for you. Bring the hands to the tops of the shins. Inhale, press your head away. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press your head away. Exhale, let it go. Last one, press your head away and hold. Belly button up and in. If our knees are bent, do you want to try straightening them? Maybe that's still too much and we need to have that soft bend. That is a-okay wherever you are. But do pull that low belly towards the spine, lengthen through the small of the back, and reach a little bit wider from shoulder to shoulder. Take one more big breath here. Bend the knees, set your hands down, and step back into a plank pose. Give yourself just a moment here and imagine that you're standing upright on your mat, just like we were a moment ago. Inner thighs toning towards one another. Small of the back lengthening long. Shoulders broadening, ears reaching. Take a big inhale. Drop the knees down. Sink back into your child's pose. 3 times wave up to your hands and your knees. Exhale, return to your child's pose. Use this as a little cat and cow, rolling and waving through the spine, maybe even moving the shoulders a little bit. Take all the time you need. Last time, rise up into your hands and your knees and pause. Broaden across the chest. Pull that belly button up and in. Tuck the toes and round through the back of the body. 3 times. Exhale, hover the knees. Inhale, set them down. Exhale, hover the knees. Inhale, set them down. Last one, hover the knees, hold. Take one more big breath. Unfold into your downward dog. Take a big deep inhale. Walk yourself into your forward fold. and roll yourself all the way up to standing. One breath just to notice what feels different, and then when you're ready, inhale, hands reach high. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, top of the head away. Exhale, return to your plank pose. Find that plank pose and hold again. Are you letting your chin dip? Can you reach the top of your head further away? Take a big inhale, and we're going to lower onto our tummy. If we need to set our knees down first, that's fine. If we can bend our elbows in and lower all the way down, that's great too. Untuck the toes. Press the tops of the feet into the earth. Inhale, teeny baby cobra. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, teeny baby cobra. Exhale, soften. One more time. Little lift up. Exhale, roll it down. Tuck your toes, send yourself back into maybe a child's pose just for a moment, and then return to your downward facing dog. You can pedal out those feet, you can sway and move the hips, do whatever works for you. And then look to the top of the mat, travel forward, find that forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, let it go. Bend the knees, roll yourself to stand up. Another breath to notice how we feel different after that set. And then when you're ready, both hands lift high. Exhale, relax. Inhale, half lift. Step back, find your plank pose. And then hold one more time. Can we lower again? Maybe knees come first. Maybe we come all the way down. This time, open your hands a little bit wider. Tent your fingertips, lift your elbows. Inhale, roll up, find a cobra. Maybe it's a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, roll down. Last one up. Exhale, lower down. And slowly find your downward facing dog. Maybe through that child's pose again. Maybe you even went up through plank. Your choice. Take a great big breath. Big deep sigh out. Look forward and walk your hands and feet together. Bend your knees, slowly roll yourself all the way up to standing. Now go ahead and walk your feet towards one another. Zip up your inner thighs, belly button up and in, shoulders nice and broad. Inhale, sit back, find a chair pose. Shoulders down, nice and soft. Take a big inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale, swim them out and away, maybe sink back as you do. Exhale, pull your hands to your heart center. Again, inhale, lift them up. Now this time, I want you to twist over your right shoulder. And this isn't a big twist. We're not going to hook our elbow if you've ever been in a yoga class where we do that. I just want you to look past your right shoulder. Now look down at your knees real quick. Did you just let your left knee jet forward? We want to keep those little guys in place. So maybe take your twist a little bit more shallow if we need to. Let it go. Inhale, reach those hands. Exhale, twist to the other side. What feels different from this side? Maybe seal those inner thighs towards one another. Maybe scoop the belly, reach those hips a little further back. You do you. And then inhale one more time, both hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, top of the head forward. Exhale, find your plank pose. If you have upward facing dog in your practice and you want to take it, we can. If we want another round of cobra, that's wonderful too. If you're taking upward facing dog, rock lightly forward, bend down into our Pilates push-up, untuck your toes, and then lift up into that upward facing dog. If this is too much, you drop all the way down and do your cobra pose. Big deep inhale. Exhale, find your downward facing dog however you want to get there. Whether or not you came through your child's pose or you move straight from your upward facing dog or cobra. Big deep inhale. Let it go. Look to the top of the mat and walk yourself forward again. Bend your knees, roll yourself up. Heel toe those feet together. Inhale, sit back, find your chair pose. Exhale, little twist to the right. Inhale, unravel, both hands high. Exhale, little twist to the left. Inhale, lift your hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Find your half lift. Find your plank pose. Now, your choice whether we want to do upward facing dog or our cobra again, but we're all going to meet in our downward facing dog, however you can get there. This time in your downward facing dog, hold for a moment, lift your hips higher, lengthen through the small of the back, 3 times lift high onto your toes. Exhale, drop your heels down. Lift high onto your toes, drop your heels down. One more time, nice and high. Lower down, hold. Now from here, I just want you to lift your right foot up. Whether we lift it very high or lightly low is totally fine. What I don't want to happen is for your low back to curve because you're lifting your leg up. Maybe bend the knee a little bit, maybe drop that leg a little lower. You do whatever you need to. But from here, when you're ready, take a big inhale. Step your foot forward. We're going to rise up into our warrior 1. Now with warrior 1, it's almost like your feet are on train tracks. So one is in line with your right hip, one is in line with your left hip. Bring those hands to your hips. Notice, are you jetting forward or are shoulders right over? Belly button in, shoulders nice and broad. Take those fingertips up nice and high. I like to think about pulling my front heel towards my back arch. Almost suction cupping my feet and trying to keep those arches nice and lifted. Take a big deep inhale, big breath out. And then I want you to clasp your hands behind your back. Now it might be enough just to hold our hands and try and open up our shoulders. If we can keep gripping and roll away so we get a little bit of a stretch through our backs, go right ahead. If that's too much, just skip it, no big deal. If we're in the mood, a couple of options. You can press your hands further back and take your gaze up. Now, if you feel like you are dumping everything into that low back to make yourself into that pose, then just don't take it. Instead, I like to think of a little string attached to my sternum, pulling my heart up rather than trying to arch the back or forcing that. Take one more inhale, and then I want everyone to dive forward. Now maybe we just lightly go forward, maybe we not even that far at all, but think about just draping over your leg, letting your head be heavy, softening the neck a little bit. Maybe even shake the head, yes and no. When you're ready, release your fingertips, set your hands on the ground, return to your plank pose. Big deep inhale, make your way into your upward facing dog or cobra. Find your downward facing dog. No hurry, no rush. Lift your left foot high. And again, it's not about how high it's lifting, it's just lifting up and away from the mat. Maybe we can really extend it on this side. Maybe feels better a little lower. No hurry, no rush. Take a big deep breath and step that leg forward, finding your warrior 1 to the other side. And now, just like you can always give yourself a little helping hand if we need to get that leg up there. No shame in that whatsoever. What we do want to think about is hips ever so lightly trying to point forward. Now, they're probably never going to exactly point forward. That's okay. That just is our anatomy and things. I don't want you to put undue pressure on our back knee because we're trying to force our hips forward. Do what works for you. Belly button in. Head nice and high. Fingertips up. And then when you're ready, we're going to clasp the opposite hand. That'll feel a little bit funky, that's okay. But go ahead and grab and notice, okay, what am I gonna do here? Keep my spine long, keep my chest broad. Press the hands down and maybe away. Maybe we keep our gaze forward, that's okay. Do whatever you need to. And then when you're ready, let your head melt forward, let your neck be soft. Keep thinking about pulling your front heel towards that back foot. then release the fingertips, drop them down, return to your plank. Big deep inhale. Move through your little vinyasa and we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Remember, vinyasa means to link with purpose. It doesn't have to be a one-size-fits-all way to move. No hurry, no rush. Take a big deep inhale. Great big breath out. Wave forward, find your plank. Exhale, find your dog. Wave forward, find your plank. Exhale, find your dog. Last one, wave forward, find your plank. Now I want you to take your left hand and bring it right in front of your nose. Drop your heels over to the left and try and lift your right hand high for a side plank. Yeah, look at you doing that. You look amazing. This is a big one. If we need to set ourselves down, that's okay. Take a big inhale. Set that hand down. Return to your plank pose. If we're in the mood, we could do one Pilates push-up before we find our downward facing dog. Big full breath in. Great big sigh out. Wave forward, find that plank again. This time, right hand comes right in front of your nose. Heels knock to the right. And lift your left hand high. Ah, yes, here's that side plank everyone loves so much. No hurry, no rush. Set that hand down. Maybe we want another little Pilates push-up. And return to your downward facing dog. Great big full inhale. Big deep breath out. And look forward. Walk your feet towards your hands. Find that forward fold. Let your head hang heavy. And roll yourself all the way up. Heel toe the feet back towards one another. Zip up through the front of the body. Low belly up and in. Inhale, sink back. Find your chair pose. Exhale, little twist to the right. Just look over the right shoulder. Inhale, both hands lift high. Exhale, little twist to the other side. Inhale, both hands lift high. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Step back, find that plank pose. Take a big full inhale. Exhale, work your way into your downward facing dog, however you want to get there. No hurry, no rush. Full big breath. Great big sigh out. Lift your right foot high. Step forward, find your warrior one once more. What feels different the second time we do this? Do we have a little more range of motion? Maybe you need to crawl those fingertips, crawl your toes further forward and find a deeper warrior one. No big deal either way. Take a great big full inhale. And as you exhale, let's come to our warrior two. I want you to reach your fingertips further away. And you see I'm heel toeing my foot a little bit closer to the other edge of my mat. And that's because in warrior two, unlike warrior one, our feet are now in line with one another instead of that train track position. Reach your fingertips further away. Imagine there's a table on either side of you. You're pressing down on that table to find a lift underneath your arms, to find a little bit more length through your spine. Take a big, deep, full inhale. Exhale, maybe sink just a bit deeper. 3 times, inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, rebend. One more time, straighten. Exhale, rebend, hold. Now, a few options. Maybe this is enough. Stay right here. Or maybe we can reach forward. Now, if you want to grab hold of your leg, that's great. If we have the range of motion to touch the floor, that's wonderful. But again, we're going to straighten our legs so we can find our triangle pose. Now, like we did in our little chair pose, I'm kind of thinking of looking over my shoulder. It's not a great big twist, but enough that I'm lifting up. Now, if we're up here a little higher or even right here, that's okay. Just do whatever works for you. Take one more big breath. And then I want you to bend your front knee, pull yourself up, and then cartwheel the hands all the way down. We're gonna meet in our downward facing dog. You can get there however you want to. Maybe through our up dog or cobra, maybe through child's pose or tabletop, maybe just stepping straight there. That's okay. No hurry, no rush. As you feel ready, lift the other leg high, step forward. Find that warrior one to begin with. Again, notice anything different, any changes, no right or wrong. And then when we're ready, it's time for our warrior two. Remember, bring that foot so it's in line with your back arch. Lightly bend the knee. Make sure that your knee and toes are pointing in the same direction. If you're letting that knee kind of knock forward or off to the side, we need to adjust a little bit. We want to be kind to those joints. Press down into your imaginary tables. Cinch the waist a little bit. Lift up and out of your waist. Put a smile on your face. You love it. And then like we did on the other side, big inhale. Exhale, maybe deepen, only if we so choose. And then a couple of times we can straighten and bend. Just finding some mobility in those knees, those hips, your ankle. And then when you're ready, rebend, hold. Start to knock yourself over. Again, if we want to grab hold of our thigh, if we want to bring our hand to the top of our thigh as we straighten, or if we've got the range of motion to bring our hand all the way down while we straighten our leg, that's okay too. If your legs aren't all the way straight, that's okay as well. You can bend both knees. Remember, it's not about a perfect pose. There is no such thing as an Instagram perfect pose. All my friends, I want you to know that. Take a big inhale. Rebend your knees. You exhale, lift up. Smile on your face as you cartwheel the arms down. Return to your downward facing dog, however you want to get there. Take a big breath in. Great big sigh out. And then one more time, let's way forward, find our plank pose. Take your left hand, bring it in front of your nose. Heels to the left. Reach that hand up. Maybe swim your hand up and over. Yes. Do we see some similar shapes? Take a big breath. Return to your plank. Maybe one Pilates push-up. Find your downward dog. Roll forward. Same thing other side. Right hand in front of your nose. Heels to the right. Stack the shoulders, lift the hand. Swim that hand up and over. And let that go. Maybe one more Pilates push-up. Return to your downward dog. Big, deep, full inhale. Great big sigh out. And then let's set our knees back onto the ground and reach back into your child's pose. Now, after all of that arm working, something that feels really nice for me is to keep my elbows on the ground, clasp my hands together, and press them towards the back of my back, my head, and just relax a little bit right here. If that's too much for us, you just do whatever works for you. No hurry, no rush. Let that go when you're ready. Roll yourself up to a seat and take your feet out in front of you. They can be together or maybe open them a little bit wider than your hips if that feels good for you right now. But let's roll our shoulders back. Toes can be pointed, flexed, soft, whatever works for your body right now. Swim your hands up nice and high. I want you to take your right hand down by your side. Think of me holding your left arm, pulling it up. Don't let your left sitting bone come away from the mat as we take a great big stretch over. Slowly pull yourself all the way up. Drop the other hand down, lift up and over.
slowly bring yourself up. Both hands lift. Take your hands out in front of you, walk your feet together. If we need to bend our knees for this guy, that's okay, but we're going to lie back on our mat. I need to scoot up just so I've got enough space behind me, but tip your pelvis back just like we would in our C curve and start to roll down. Oop, my mic is in the way, I gotta move that guy. And come all the way down to the ground when you're ready. Bend your knees, walk your feet in. Take your hands wherever feels best. If you notice that your shoulders are kind of caving in after all that work, let's kind of open our palms up to the sky and hands a little further away from the body. Maybe knock your knees together if that feels nice. And we can take a little windshield wiper of our knees side to side. Bring those feet towards one another. Lightly press down into the feet and lengthen through the small of the back, pointing your nose up to the sky. Swim your arms over your head and just find a big, deep stretch to the back of the body. Maybe wiggle the fingertips. Maybe roll the wrist. Give yourself a little hug, a little squeeze. And then let that go. Just let yourself relax. Maybe it feels nice to bring feet together, open knees wide. Maybe you want to extend the legs long. But close your eyes for a moment. And maybe that was a very challenging sequence for us. And if so, know that I am so proud of you for doing as much or as little as you did. Maybe that kind of vinyasa style is old hat and we just enjoyed getting into our body, in which case I am so thankful you joined in today. But wherever you are, just spend the next few moments giving yourself permission to relax. Do you need to move around a little bit before you find that easy place to lie down? Maybe bring one hand to your heart, one to your stomach, to feel your breath moving within your body. Take a big, deep inhale. Let it go. Another full breath in. Release it out. One more time. And soften. Can you carry this feeling of pride and success from our class today with you for the rest of your day? Can you keep an attitude of gratitude and thankfulness for your body? And can you congratulate yourself for just showing up today and doing as much of this 30-day challenge as you have? No hurry, no rush. Begin to waken your body however you want to, whether that means to wiggle the toes, roll the fingers, maybe nod the head. Blink your eyes open whenever you're ready. Take your hands over your head for one more big good morning stretch. And eventually roll to one side and push yourself up to a seat. As always, a pat on the back, thanking yourself for doing something so good and just for you. I certainly hope you enjoyed our class today. It might have been a little bit more challenging for some of us, but that's okay because that's part of our 30-day challenge. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I can't wait to see you again.